Okay, we're here for the final shiur in the South Side Sandwich Shop. Parshas Bamidbar, Tafshin Ayin Daled. We have some things to say, but we'll wait until after the shiur. I mean, the shiur is the reason we all get together every Thursday night, pretty much, for the past 4.5 years. So we'll begin with saying the shiur tonight. Our parsha begins with the pasuk, "Vayidaber Hashem al Moshe b'midbar Sinai." Hashem spoke to Moshe Rabbeinu b'midbar Sinai, in the wilderness of Sinai. Chazal, in the Medrash here in Bamidbar Rabbah, tell us that this pasuk, the first pasuk in Chumash Bamidbar, this pasuk is one of the psukim from which we see that the Torah was given with 3 things. When we got the Torah by Har Sinai, the Medrash tells us that the Torah was given in 3 ways, with 3 different things. With Eish, fire, Mayim, water, and Midbar, a wilderness. These 3 things, either they represent Torah, or you need to have them in some way to have Torah. But it's with these 3 things, and the Medrash says, Midbar, the 3rd thing we see from the first pasuk in our parsha. Each one of them is learned from Sukkim, but Midbar is from our parsha. And the Medrash continues, and the Medrash tells us that in order to be Koine Torah, it teaches us, in order to be Koine Torah, a person must make himself like a midbar. A midbar is one of the 3 things that a person has to acquire. Zok the Medrash, in order to be Koine Torah, you have to make yourself hefker, and we'll explain what that means in a moment, hefker, like a midbar. The job of a person, says the Nesivos Shalom, is to take these 3 ingredients, Eish, Mayim, and Midbar, and turn these 3 things into ways to be Oved Hashem. Now let us explain a bit of a cryptic idea, but let us explain exactly what the Medrash means. Eish, says the Nesivos Shalom, refers to the burning Eish of the Yetzer Hara. And the Yetzer Hara is forever burning in a way which is trying to entice us with visions of taivas, pleasures, making bad midas look like they might be good. That is the Eish, that's the fire of the Yetzer Hara. And what do we have to do? A person has to counter that. With the Eish that we provide, with the Hislavas and Avodas Hashem, being Oved Hashem with a brand, being Oved Hashem in a very, very strong way, we turn around that fire of the Yetzer Hara, and we turn it into the Eish HaTorah, and we use it for the Kedusha. We use this Kedusha to burn the negative fires that the Yetzer Hara throws our way, the negative fires of desire that are always these illusions that are thrown our way. And that is Eish. Mayim, says the Nesivos Shalom, we know that Mayim represents the midos of Ava and Chesed. Many times it's brought down in many different places that Mayim represents the inner desire that a person has, the innate human desire to love and to give. And that, say many Mefarshim, that is represented by Mayim. That is the 2nd thing. And the Nesivos Shalom says that these emotions of love and giving, which every person has inside them, or basically almost every person, some people you find it squashed a little too far inside them, but every person is born and has that desire to love and to give. The Nesivos Shalom says that these emotions of wanting to love and wanting to give also need to be channeled to the right things. You have to love the right things. And by doing that too, we're able to be kind of the Torah. That's step number 2. So we explained Eish and we explained Mayim. The 3rd way, of course, is the lesson of our parsha. To make oneself hefker like a midbar. to be totally open and ready, just as the wilderness is, to be open and ready like the Midbar, to be Makabel Ol Malchus Shamayim, and the Old Torah. And the Nesivos Shalom adds a very interesting point to what the Medrash says. He adds that in order to actually be kind of Torah, we're coming now a couple of weeks away from Shavuos, we're stepping every day. And what's the whole idea of this? To get closer and closer to Kabbalah of Torah. And Nesivos Shalom adds to this Medrash that in order to be kind of Torah, it requires making Torah the focus of your life. If you want to pursue Torah in a life of Gashmias at the same time, that doesn't work. It doesn't work. It doesn't mix. If you want to be kind of Torah with these three things, with Eish, Mayim, and Midbar, it has to be the focus of your life. If you focus yourself also on Gashmias, then you lose it. That you cannot be kind of. It's Soiser, the Kinyan of Torah. And the Torah Be'emes says in the Nesivos Shalom is different than any other knowledge or education that you might have. Think about how a person who wants to study and he has final exams, whether it be in college or anything like that, a person has a test that he has to do. So what does a person want to do? He needs to have a little relaxation and luxury time. And you need space. I need my space to think and everything. That's with everything else in life. Because you want to free up your mind to focus on what you want to focus on. Torah is exactly the opposite. There's a requisite of Torah. Torah requires work and Mesiras Nefesh. Not pshat that if you have work and Mesiras Nefesh, it'll help you be kind of Torah. You cannot be kind of Torah without that. And the more you want to be, and the more you want to go down easy street, the less Torah you're going to be kind of. Mesiras Nefesh is required for Torah. And like the Baal Shem Tov says that any amount of Gashmias that a person indulges himself in, no matter how you want to explain it, any amount of Gashmias, it separates the person from HaKadosh Baruch Hu, and that's a Metzias. So the three things that we mentioned, Eish, Mayim, and Midbar, these three things, if we use them correctly, they do exactly what we need to do. You break down your pursuit of Gashmias, and you break down yourself and make yourself ready to be Mekabel the Torah. And the Nesivos Shalom teaches us a very important lesson that I want to end off with, and a very important idea, and a lesson regarding a person's growth in general, and this inyan of Eish, Mayim, and Midbar. The Nesivos Shalom says that growth, every person wants to grow. You don't want to be stagnant. You don't want to stay in the same situation that you are today. You want to grow. You want to do something better tomorrow. Growth needs constant work. It needs consistent and constant work. Like Rabbi Akiva, now we're in Yimei Asfira, let's talk about Rabbi Akiva. The Medrash says, Medrash in Avos Rav Nosson says that Rabbi Akiva saw a stone with a hole through the stone. And Rabbi Akiva thought, when he saw the stone with a hole through it, Rabbi Akiva realized that even water, if it drips constantly on a stone, eventually it's going to go through the stone. So Rabbi Akiva made a kal v'chomer. Rabbi Akiva said, of course, if water which just drips on a stone, and you keep dripping on the stone, eventually it's going to go through. He says, of course, the Torah, which is so powerful, can go through the heart of a person that is so soft. And Rabbi Akiva was 40 years old. Rabbi Akiva had not learned anything. He knew nothing. But Rabbi Akiva made this kal v'chomer, and he began to learn. He saw what slowly, consistent growth, something consistent can do. Rabbi Akiva turned around and he started learning. Let me ask you a question. What happens if you take a tremendous amount of water, fill up an entire barrel of water, go to a rock, go to a stone, take the entire barrel and douse the stone, turn the entire thing of water onto the stone? What's going to happen to the stone? You know what's going to happen to the stone? Nothing. It's going to get wet. That's it. Nothing's going to happen to the stone. But look, if you take water and over a long period of time, you drip water on it, you're consistent, you constantly do things over and over and over, it's that way with learning Torah also. And with growing in life, it has to be constant. It has to be consistent, like boiling water. When you boil water on a fire, you have a flame going, but if you turn off the flame for a moment, the water goes back down. Constant, consistent, and that's the way a person is, says in Nesivos Shalom. That's the way we have to grow. That's the way we're kind of Torah. That's the way you're kind of friends. That's the way you're kind of midas. Everything works that way. Consistent. You build on it. You start something, and you continue going. Yemei Asvira are that way. Sheva Shabbosois T'mimois. It's 7 weeks, 49 days, each day consistently doing and building and growing. We began this shiur here at the Southside Sandwich Shop 4.5 years ago. And we started with 1 week. And we used this idea. And 1 week turned into some 220-something shiurim, I think, that we have online now. We started with 1 week, and it started just with somebody asking me, so some of the people are still sitting here, somebody asking me, so what are you saying in the Nesivos Shalom Shiur on Shabbos? And we said it over, and I thought that was the end of it. And the next Thursday night, I got a phone call. It's 10-something. There's a whole bunch of people waiting for you here. Where are you? And I walked in, and the video crew was here already. And we walked in, and from that week on, Baruch Hashem, we haven't missed. We've taken it on the road. We've taken it out of the country. We've taken it so many different places. But it was every single week, constantly, consistently, we continued on. So first of all, I'd like to thank the proprietor of the Southside Sandwich Shop, my friend Yosef Motherpearl, who now I could say has a tremendous schus. How many people? Yeah, the schus of over 200 shiurim in this store, and we hope that we will land somewhere again soon in the Southside Sandwich Shop. We will keep the shiur going somewhere, somehow, each week. We're not sure exactly how it's going to be, but we do hope that somewhere soon we end up together again. Very homey, very, so much character in this store. The food here is unreal. Sometimes people were not even to resist the food during the shiur. I know that while I was saying the shiur, lots of good stuff was always happening behind me. I always knew. Yosef wanted to know how I always knew when he was making the fattest sandwich he was going to make in a night, and he's standing behind me wanting to show it off to the customers. I always got my hand up to block it right at the right time. I told him that after 200 some odd shiurim, you know what you have to do. I would also like to thank the entire crew at the LakewoodScoop.com, led by TLS-01, Reblazer Hassenfeld, who over all the years has been a great supporter of this shiur, who has been an advocate of Harbatzas Torah, always looking to make sure that no matter where we are, to get it up by Friday morning, and of course, all the wonderful people around the world. And it doesn't get lost, the amount of times and places that I've been over the past almost 5 years, and it doesn't fail going down the street, and you meet people, and people recognize you, and they have things to ask, and things to say, and commentary, and everything that goes along with it. But it's a very gratifying feeling. So it's been a great 4.5 years, and we're going to land somewhere very soon, I'm sure. But no matter what we do, and no matter where we end up going, this is where we got started, and it was amazing, amazing start. And it's all you wonderful people who crowded this place every Thursday night and kept it going. I mean, the way I look at it, I think over the past 4.5 years, almost every Thursday night it rained and it snowed. I think so. I don't remember. Every week when we leave here, we have to run to the car. The train passed by almost every Thursday night, made a racket while we were, but it was part of the character. If you find another place, it's got to be near a railroad. So thank you, everybody. Thank you, everybody, for the great memories. Thank you. We've all grown slowly, consistently. It's been a great 4.5 years. It's been a great run. I wish everybody here lots of hatzlacha. Let's stay together. Let's keep it going. It's really the Torah that kept us together. And let's hope we continue for many years. Thank you.
Let's hear it for our Maggid Shiur.